Hello everyone, welcome back. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the Coulomb's law and intensity of electric field for a discrete charge distribution. However, if the charge is distributed continuously, then how to find out the force experienced by a unit positive charge and the field at a certain point. So in this class, we will be discussing about continuous charge distribution problems. Let us start. So I'll just summarize for a discrete charge distribution the Coulomb's law. F bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square R cap. This is a Coulomb's force of attraction or force of repulsion between the two charges, that is Q1 and Q2. And the intensity of the electric field, this is the charge Q. The intensity of electric field at this point at a distance R is given by E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square R cap. These two are the formulas that we have seen for a discrete charge distribution. If you have a number of charges, then you can get the force and the field by using simply the superposition principle. That is the vector sum of the force is experienced by a charge due to all other charges. Now let us see continuous charge distribution. How to find the force and field for a continuous charge distribution. For example, linear charge distribution. That means if the charge is distributed along the line, then we can say that is a linear charge distribution like this way. If the charge is distributed along a line, then this is called a linear charge distribution like this way. You can see here the charge here, this is a continuously distributed charge Q cap. This is a total charge on this line, and the charge is continuously distributed from here to here. So that means this is a line of charges. They are continuously arranged. Now the charge is continuously distributed uniformly throughout this line. This kind of charges are called linear charge distribution. Now, if you wanted to find the force experienced by, this is the unit positive charge placed at a distance R from this linear charge distribution. So for this one, let's consider a small charge dq. A small charge dq out of all this charge within the length element dl. First we are considering small charge, and we will find the force experienced by unit charge because of the small charge. Later we extend this argument to complete linear charge. So this is a small charge present in the length dl. Now if the charge distribution is uniform, then we can write dq is directly proportional to dl. Then if you replace this proportionality with a constant, that is lambda into dl. Here the proportionality constant lambda is called linear charge density. This is called linear charge density, and the linear charge density can be expressed lambda is equal to dq by dl. This is only valid when the charge distribution is uniform. This is only valid for a uniform charge distribution. We can write like this. Now, if you wanted to find the force experienced by this charge, this is the unit charge that we are considering, this charge at a distance r. Now this charge is at a distance r from this small charge dq within the length element dl. Now to find the force experienced by this charge, we can simply write the force dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught according to Coulomb's law Q1 Q2 by R square. The Q1 is a dq and then Q2 is a q by the distance is r square. Now this is only the force experienced by this charge because of the charge present within this length element. Now how about the force experienced by this charge from the total length from here to here? Now if you wanted to get the total force, then simply you integrate this force from here to here like this way. So F bar is equal to integration of dF bar. This is a line integral. So that means integration of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq q by r square. So now you can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is constant. So we can bring out integration of dq can be written lambda into dl. So here you can write dq is equal to lambda into dl. So we can write in place of dq, we can write lambda into dl by r square r cap. This is the force experienced by this charge q due to the line charge from here to here. That means the total linear charge distribution. F is equal to q by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of lambda dl by r square r cap. Now if you wanted to find out the electric field at this point A, now at point A is given by F is equal to Q into E, because the charge here, unit charge is Q. Now the electric field can be written like this way: E is equal to F by Q, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dl by r square. So this is a force experienced by a charge at a distance r because of linear charge distribution, and this is the field at a point A because of linear charge distribution. We can also have a surface charge distribution like this way. If charge is distributed along a plane, then we can say that is a surface charge distribution. And now if the charge is distributed uniformly, here if the charge distribution is uniform, then we can write, if the charge distribution is uniform, then we can take a small charge dq in the area, small area dA. Then we can write dq directly proportional to dA. If you are taking a small charge dq in an area element dA, then we can write dq is directly proportional to dA. Here if you remove the direct proportionality constant, which can be written sigma into dA, here sigma is called surface charge density. So sigma can be written like this way: sigma is equal to dq by dA. Sigma is equal to dq by dA. This is only valid when the charge distribution in this plane is uniform. If the charge distribution is uniform, then only we can write sigma is equal to dq by dA. Now if you keep a charge q at a distance r from this surface charge distribution, then the force experienced by this charge because of this surface charge distribution is given by, we can write simply dF is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq into q by r square, simply by using Coulomb's law. Now this is only due to the small charge dq in the area dA. But if you wanted to get total force experienced by this charge because of total surface charge distribution, then we can simply write F bar is equal to integration of dF, which is equal to q by, this is a q is a constant, so q by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r square. But you know that sigma is equal to dq by dA. So we can replace dq in terms of sigma into dA. So F bar is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of sigma dA by R square R cap. This is the force experienced by this charge because of total surface charge distribution. And if you wanted to find out the field at this point A due to this surface charge distribution, then it can be written F is equal to QE, so E is equal to F by Q, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma dA by R square. So this is how we can find the force and electric field for a surface charge distribution. Similarly, we can also have a volume charge distribution. If the charge is distributed in a volume, then we can say this is a volume charge distribution. Then, if the volume charge distribution is uniform, then we can write dq is directly proportional to dV. This is a volume, small volume element. Then, if you replace this proportionality constant with the charge density, volume charge density rho, which is like this way. So here rho is volume charge density. Now rho can be written, rho is equal to dq by dV. This is the volume charge density. The volume charge density is only valid when the charge is distributed throughout the volume of the material. Similarly, we can also find the force and field like this way. If you keep any positive charge above, the force experienced by the positive charge because of the small charge present in the small volume dV, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq into q by r square. If you want to get a total force, then simply integrate it. That is q by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, which you can write q by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of rho dV by r square r cap. This is the force. Now if you wanted to get a field, then simply F is equal to E is equal to F by Q, which is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught rho dV by r square. This is the field. So in this way, we can actually get the force and field equations for linear charge distribution, for a surface charge distribution, and for a volume charge distribution. So in summarizing, the linear charge density is lambda is equal to dq by dl, that means charge per unit length. The surface charge density is charge per unit area, and the volume charge density is rho is equal to charge per unit volume. These are all valid only when uniform charge distribution, under uniform charge distribution. Thank you so much for your attention. See you again. Thank you so much for your attention. See you again.